Okay. I finally got my channel to come up on my phone. Test, 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 test. Testing 1, 2. Shut up. What up, fuck? Alright. Sorry about being late. Dealing with some stuff here at the house. So, well, where'd it go? I guess I need to see if I can get it come back up. There we go. Alright. As you can see, the green swath, that's your 8, 9, 10, even in some places 11-inch totals. High resolution Doppler right there around Alex Box Stadium, right around 11 inches. And on the other side of the river, Bruley and Bruley Landing showed 11 inches. Um, this isn't as high resolution as Gibson Ridge, but you get the general idea. Port Allen, there by I-10. Let me turn the volume down. 9 inches, and then a lot of places in Baton Rouge, 8, 7, 8, 9 as you get closer downtown and Exxon and the riverfront. And there's 10 inches right there by North Gates, Nicholson. Decent totals in here. This was only in a time span of less than 6 hours. You come over here, just following this line, basically set up I-10, 110, I-10, 12 split, and then straight up I-12 all the way to Walker. And most of that area along I-12, Walker, all the way to Denham, 7, 8 inches of rain. north side of the interstates between 190 and I-12 on Livingston Paris there. That's your block corridor of 7, 8, 9 inch total rainfall. And it came in a really short amount of time. And as we zoom out, I seen some here, and there was, I'll tell you what these little green dots are here in a minute. Um, these lime green or light green areas, if you want to call it that, uh, these are your 7 to 10 inch totals in here. And you can see up there in Tangipahoa, all the way across. In Franklinton, you're coming in around 4 and get on the western outskirts of Franklinton 5, then it goes up from there 6 as you get Highway 10 there. Um, big totals there, and then it's like Montpelier. Excuse me. There's a little 7-inch bullseye, and I think I did mention in an outlook a few days ago that models were projecting some 4 to 6 inch, possibly up to 8-inch bullseyes. So that was pretty spot on at that time. The Centerville, between Gloucester, Centerville, and Liberty, big swath of 7, 8, 9 inches of rain through that area. Um, a lot of issues there. Baton Rouge, right across the fence from me in Shenandoah Estates, houses were taking water over there. There's a lot of road closures, underpasses. Decadian, Chippewa, all had issues. The usual hot spots. And we pop on out over here. Take a look over here at St. Landry, and you can see near Port Barre, along Highway 190, a swath of 7 and 8 inch rains there. Down to Opelousas, 6 to 7 inches. Bill Platt, y'all got into some of that action from Memo, all the way over 5, 6, 7 inches of rain. I thought I saw 7 pop up in there somewhere. Yeah, there it is. Little bullseye. These little bullseyes in here, Morganza. Over here in New Roads, 3 to 4 inches. Over here in Glen, about 4 inches. And the further south you go, there's a 5. It's mostly over very rural areas in West Baton Rouge. But as soon as you get to I-10 and head south all the way to Plaquemine, yeah, a lot of cars got stalled out. So you can kiss that baby goodbye. Anyhow, let's turn that off. Alright, so you see all these little green dots and some purple ones here? Tangipahoa Robert. Current stage 15.1, flood stage is 15. I have to go back and look at that on the National Weather Service, Lower Mississippi River Forecast Center. Up in Osaka, 14.6, flood stage 15, and then it's Comey at Joy Road, was observed at 19, flood stage is 20. Those are really the only 3 area rivers in southeast Louisiana that got issues, and they got some over here go over in Acadiana, and I'll bring that. Let's see. Tangipahoa River at Robert. You're going to crest at 16 feet. Looks like it may crest a little bit under the 16 feet. Maybe 15.8. It'll kind of borderline on following the forecast curve, and sliding just underneath the forecast curve. So right now 15.14, uh, doubtful you're going to go above 16. So you're in flood stage right now. The flood stage is 15 there at Robert. All right, and we go up here to Tangipahoa and Osaka, and I just gave you that, and it's actually already on the fall. The 14.47. So it is cresting and falling right now. No worries for y'all up there. All right. Um, Comey near Jor, 1904 right now. I'm gonna go probably 19.5 around midnight tonight, and then the start of a slow fall for about 12 hours, and then it's going to start falling rapidly. So uh, again, cresting just below flood stage. So if you're familiar with what floods in that area at 19 feet, just below flood stage, may be some construction areas, stuff like that. That takes water. Well, there you go. All right. So that's really only things we got. Let's see. Comey at Olive Branch, just to give you, it's already on the fall. Uh, 6.87. Flood stage is 19, so yeah, you're really good there. Um, that's basically it. Let's see what we got on the Mississippi at Baton Rouge. Latest observed at the Mississippi River in Baton Rouge, 14 feet. And it's going to start a rise here in a few days on the 13th, and projected to go to 23.4. You get your spring rise there. So everything else is in the green for southeast Louisiana as far as area rivers go. That's going to about cover that. All right. That's miscellaneous. River gauge observations. We'll turn that off. So now everything focuses to Wednesday. So this is day 4 of the Storm Prediction Center's 8-day outlook. And you don't get the dark green marginal risk area on these graphics until you hit day 3. So tonight, midnight, when the new outlook comes out for day 3, that's what you see here. We'll finally get the dark green marginal risk in there. And if the yellow doesn't change, then you're likely going to see the rest of the state in the dark green marginal risk area. So as it stands now, the entire state is at a marginal to slight risk for severe weather on Wednesday night. We're still trying to get through things as far as date and time, and that's 138 hours. No, we don't want to go that far out. Who did do it? 24, let's see, 60 hours. Wednesday, 1 a.m. Probably not going to get here until the afternoon. So I'm going to go through this timeline for Wednesday. 1 p.m. And this isn't a high resolution. This is the GFS, but you can see the specter of what's to come. So it's showing a few little light showers across South Louisiana, moving northward through the day on Wednesday. We get to 4 p.m. The tail end of this thing is beginning to develop. 7 p.m. Wednesday, That's a pretty robust squall line. And even on these lower resolution future radars, when you see these little notches right here, you got it. That's where you're liable to get some spinners. So QLCS tornadoes. And looks like it tries to weaken a little bit. That's at 10 p.m. Wednesday. And then, as usual, once it hits the Louisiana-Mississippi state line there, I-59 corridor, it wants to perk back up. But by 1 a.m., a little finger left on the back side of it. But that probably won't amount to much. Once this primary line, once this primary line passes your location Wednesday night, the severe threat will come to an end for you. I get asked that question all the time, and hopefully nearly 99.9999999% of you guys have a radar app with GPS positioning or marker on your cell phones. And when you zoom in, if you see that line, if you're here and let's say Denham Springs, and you know this line is moving to the east, and you see it east of you, that should automatically tell you that's the worst of it, it's past. I try to educate you guys. Anyhow, that's 1 a.m. in the Thursday morning. Here we are at 4 a.m. Kind of slowing down a little bit. Biloxi up to Birmingham. But let's take this back here. So here we are. Now we're going to look at something else here at the 78-hour mark. Nothing big. These are wind gusts, potential wind gusts. Even with that heavy line, where it looks scary on future radar, may have a nice little gust front out ahead of this thing. When you see something like that and you know there's a squall line right here, and then you see this big curvature, winds in the 20s and 30s, wind gusts, watch the trends and see, especially once we get within range of the medium range high resolution models. So I always look for little details like that, and among other things, I'm observant to things that most people wouldn't even think about. But anyhow, as we move forward into the night, there's 10. But look over here in Texas. They're getting gusts over to 50. And we switch back to radar. That's backside winds. Let's see what that does, because it's not accompanying the main line. And here we are at 1 a.m. and most of that heavier, higher winds, 35 plus, up to 47, 48, up to along the I-20 corridor and through Natchez. Not a whole lot. So this is mainly going to be probably another heavy rain event. And then you can see as we get to 4 a.m. Thursday morning, winds really die off. It's almost dead right now. And then you see around. So and the frontal boundary line, that is current. Don't pay no attention to that. So I forgot to hide it. But anyhow, as we get into tomorrow night, I'll be watching for trends. especially when we get to the outermost limits of the medium range guidance, to see what they're beginning to plot with the winds. So um, but it does look like we get a gust front come in on the backside of it. But then again, look, when this thing comes through, uh, these are non-thunderstorm winds. These are winds behind the front. So that thing's going to come screaming in here. And guess what? I hope y'all didn't put the warm-ups and hoodies up and heavy winter jackets, because you know what's coming. Friday morning. Let's go to Friday morning. Just to see what the temperatures. Oh, I see blue. 43, 44 here in Baton Rouge, New Orleans, in the city, CBD, around in the low 50s, and then as soon as you get out of the city, you hit the 40s. That's all the way down to the coast, the 50s along the coast, and mid to low 40s, especially get up here in Mississippi. Look at that, up that I-55 corridor. Almost in the 30s in some places, Laurel. And Friday morning, y'all gonna be 40 degrees. That is projected. I mean, I take 3, 4, 5 degrees either side of that. All right. We still got to get within range of the high resolution medium range guidance. We're not there yet. So take this with a grain of salt. We know the chill down is coming, but there's going to be enough. Let's just call it, instead of getting all technical, let's just call it juice. All right. There's going to be enough juice in the atmosphere that if anything gets rooted, it's going to have the potential to go severe, especially along the leading edge of the squall line. I showed you a little notch there. Despite intensity levels, there's still going to be some mesovortices spinning along that boundary as it comes through. So um, still something to watch, still a ways out. And for now, just have in the back of your mind another nocturnal event. And I think it does. So Friday morning, let's see, let's go back and make sure it's giving us everything accurately. Generally an inch across the region, and then you get some 1 to 3 inch little bullseyes in here, and especially over here, the gray shaded area. That's your 3 inch. So 1 to 2, 1 to 1.5, maybe 2. We got a force field up for our area, so we can deal with another inch of rain, maybe 2 inches. But if we start seeing things 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 inches again, we're gonna have problems because the ground's saturated right now. So it's been pretty dry. It should soak it up in good measure, and if we do get another heavy rain event, it should help mitigate it somewhat in severity. So the rivers should all be close to normal by the time this system moves in here Wednesday night, Thursday morning. So it's not all doom and gloom. Let's switch this to the day 3, and then we'll turn that off. Gets back here to live radar. Turn P typing off. X-Ray Pro is off. So. Well. Oh. Why radar is not coming up? Let's go base. There we go. Whoop. Where'd it go? Alright, something may be going on with. We get Brahms data. Because I know there's some rain out there. I don't know. This is software gets glitchy sometimes. So, um, there's not a whole lot out there. Maybe a few scattered light showers tonight. That's gonna be it. Centurion plays 7 3/4 inches. Yeah. Yeah, we only got 22 people following or watching right now. Oh well. So anyhow, that's really all I got. Um, Probably have to reboot the computer. I got an old computer. Um, I've got to get a new one. This one's on its last leg. So it's not Windows 11 compatible. I'm going to get a whole new rig. That's another reason why at the end of the year this closes down, because there's no way I can afford a big rig. Uh, Even building it on my own. The cost is crap now. It's just too high. And sitting there on Windows 10 with the operating system deprecated, yeah, makes things difficult. So anyhow, um, I don't know. Maybe a blessing will come through. But I digress. So we'll check back in tomorrow with all of the. Yeah, something ain't working right. There we go. That was weird. There's current radar. Stationary front right now. But anyhow. Um, and then it disappeared. Yeah. Alright, y'all. So I'm going to go ahead and jump off of here. That's really all I wanted to go through. I think a lot of you have caught your evening news and got up to date. We're just kind of rehashing outside and looking ahead. So with that, we'll bid you a good Sunday night. Have a good week ahead, and we'll have an update tonight around midnight with the new severe weather risk graphics. So y'all have a good one.